The grass is always greener on the other side. This seems to be especially true in this day and age, where we can watch a guy from America start a new life in Kyoto, Japan, through the small screen in our hands. We get to see and explore the world through secondhand experiences, which allows us to see other people's lives through rose-colored glasses. And the more I consume these videos and hear stories about other people's lives abroad, the more I dream of leaving this old nest of mine in search of a better one, far, far away from where I am. I'm not sure if this desire to leave and find a new home is something only I feel, or if it's something we all share. But maybe this feeling is not just in my head, but in others as well, considering the fact that there is an increasing number of content creators online making videos about life in a foreign country. So this idea of the grass is greener on the other side may be a universal feeling that people have. But if you think about this closely, maybe those who aren't fully satisfied with where they are currently has a stronger desire for escape. And maybe this feeling of wanting to leave in search of a paradise is a signal that you must change something about yourself. I'm a casual gamer, and I'm a huge fan of single-player games. I especially find open-world single-player games to be therapeutic in a way, because it gives me an opportunity to break away from reality and focus on something beyond myself through the adventures of the main character. And one of the games that I used to immerse myself in for hours and hours every single day was a game called Red Dead Redemption 2. And for those of you who don't know what this game is, who are not familiar with this game, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a story-driven open-world game set in the late 1800s, which is right around the time, around the end of the American Wild West. So all the outlaw gangs and all the members of the gangs were perishing during this time because the American system was getting constructed and society was forming to its proper state. And in this game, you play as Arthur Morgan, who is a member of a gang of outlaws led by a man named Dutch van der Linde. And after a big robbery goes wrong, Dutch's gang is forced to constantly move from one place to another in search of a better home and a peaceful life, away from all the sheriffs that are trying to hunt them down and capture them. So basically, they are searching for a place where the grass is greener and eventually a home they could settle in and start a new life. Within the game, the gang leader Dutch is never satisfied with where they are. Even if the gang has found a good place to settle down, away from law, away from civilization, Dutch always talks about how this place is never enough, how he always has a plan which is to go to Tahiti. And in Dutch's mind, Tahiti is the perfect escape. Dutch thinks that once his gang gets one more big score, they would be able to reach Tahiti, where there is no more running, no more problems. It's going to be a completely fresh start for the whole gang. But as Arthur Morgan, you the player, plays through the story, you start realizing that Tahiti, which Dutch always talks about, isn't really about Tahiti. it's merely an idea. So every time something goes wrong, Dutch says, we just need a little more money. Then we can go to Tahiti. Because Dutch believes that problems arise from where they are currently, when the real problem is Dutch and his perishing gang themselves. So this idea that the grass is greener in Tahiti turns into a way to avoid reality, and it's merely a way to cope with the current situation and hope for a better future. So coming back to the idea of the grass is greener on the other side, the question we have to ask ourselves is, what am I running away from? What part of me is telling me to escape? And what part of me needs fixing? Maybe this urge to get a fresh start is a sign that a part of me is somehow broken. Maybe this dream of going to Tahiti or paradise is just a way for me to hold on for dear life. Because somewhere deep down, there exists a part of me that refuses to let go. I would love to finish my thought with a definitive conclusion or a single sentence advice, but it's just not possible because I myself am incomplete. If you really think about this, maybe Dutch truly believed in the idea of starting a new life in Tahiti. And maybe it is a fact that he did his best to achieve his goal. So, who am I to judge his character?